Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 8 Japanese cruiser Mogami. It has 15 main guns, 8 secondary guns, 50 AA guns, 16 torpedoes, a top speed of 35 knots, total hull 39,100. For my modules, reduce crit chance on main battery, increase AA range, reduce flood and fire chance, faster rudder shift. And for my commander, situational awareness, basic survivability, basic firing training, faster turret traverse, lower cooldown on damage control, and advanced firing training. We are on the map Hotspot. And if you notice someone's trying to tell me how to play the game, believe me, friend, I know way more than you do in this particular situation. I want to try and cut off the enemies as they try and move down the 9-10 line, put pressure on them, and prevent the flank. Okay? I'm not going to go into sea and get ambushed from all sides. The Mogami's a great ship, and I feel very comfortable in her. I chose this game not because of an insane score. It is a high score, but more so the opponents that I was facing, there was a lot of counterplay, and whenever you're in a situation where you're trying to predict the movement of the enemy, they can counter your movement, you can counter them. In a turn of events, I run into an enemy destroyer, and Mogami's going to eat him up. All guns ready to fire. We fire on the Farragut. We lead him slightly too much. We only do 3,000 points of damage. We have such a low reload that we're able to fire again. All guns fire. We land everything. He's barely alive. He's burning. He uses damage control, and we're just going to end his life with this last salvo. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's move on to the next destroyer, because destroyers, you're no match for the power of the Mogami. He tries to use his smoke. That's not going to help you. As long as I fire before I lose accuracy, you're dead. Land 12 of the 15 rounds, and we do massive damage. We're going to fire again, and we should be good. We made sure that some of the rounds would land on him. Yeah, we take out the destroyer. 2 destroyers just like that. Now, to me, it looks like the battleship and the cruiser want to counter me hard. Notice they changed their heading. They're now going down the 10 line, attempting to counter me. Once I was able to take out the destroyer, I dropped off radar, and they're still committed because I have an aircraft overhead that can obviously spot the battleship. I don't know where the cruiser is. Okay, now I know where the cruiser is. Both of them have committed to try and counter me, and I'm going to counter their movement. I'm going to go to the other side of the island. I'm going to move towards my friendlies. Hopefully, I get a torpedo strike, maybe kill one of them, but I'm making sure that I'm protecting myself, and that is all about looking at the mini-map and being aware of where the enemy is. Unfortunately, I lead the target a little bit too much. He's given time to react. He slows way down, and only 1 torpedo makes contact. We do cause flooding, but I don't believe he's had to use damage control, and I know he's going to use it on flooding, because flooding is just too strong against the battleship. It slows you down, it does a ton of damage. Friendly battleship's burning, probably has used damage control, and he's just going to die to fire. We still are not spotted, mind you. We're still invisible to the enemies that are trying to counter our movement. Finally, we show up, and they are perfectly behind the island where they cannot fire on my position. I'm trying to move north to meet up with my teammates. I see a convenient Atago. I'm going to fire on his position, help the team kill him. We have to make sure we don't run into the island, though. We check ahead of our ship, and it doesn't look like we will hit it. We should be good. We turn. Oh, I can just feel it. Yep, slowed way down. Friendly overshoots because we came to an immediate halt by running into the island. We try and kill the Atago with that fire. We don't. We lead him again. We're taking fire from an enemy battleship, but everything's falling short. Minimal damage. The 2 jokers who tried to counter me are now free from the island, and they're firing on my position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my ship starboard. I'm going to go as close to the island as I can. I'm going to force the enemy Pensacola and the Turpits to have to come out further away in order to engage my ship. This is definitely planned. I want to get as close as I can without running into the island. If I ran into the island, I would be dead. The situation is extremely delicate, but I checked to see if I can use my torpedoes just in case. If I could send it, I could prevent the Pensacola from moving forward, perhaps even killing him. And it's just not going to happen. There's just not enough angle on a Japanese cruiser to do that. But we are protecting ourselves. There's plenty of island in the way to prevent the enemy Pensacola, and he's afraid to come out. I have friendlies in the area. He is not aware of exactly where they could be, so he kind of stalls a little bit. We consider sending our torpedoes from the port side to the general direction, but I'm trying to predict what he's doing. He's really thinking hard about what he should do. He clearly thinks he can take me. He must understand one thing. There is no way I am losing in a one-on-one in my Mogami, especially against a Pensacola. Pensacola. That ship way down on the totem pole. So we sent out our torpedoes. He's hugging the island. He's aware of our plan, I think. You know, you could infer that a Japanese cruiser is sending torpedoes based on their angling. Instead of engaging the Pensacola, we try and help finish the turbines off. Looks like he's going to burn down. We fire one more salvo. The Pensacola is successful in avoiding all my torpedoes, but we've got a pretty harsh angle. He only has access to his front guns. We fire all our guns on the enemy Pensacola. We do massive damage. Set 2 fires, do 6k damage, and he's going to turn into this again, and we should do even more damage. Now, I believe he was immune to that. If he's not, then the fire did stick because we saw he put out the first 2 fires. Checking the torpedo, the reload cycle, we see that he's headed straight west. I believe what he wants to do, he wants to ram me. Just reading the situation, he probably feels very threatened by my ship, and he would rather die than allow me to live. So I'm not going to enter the area and get bottled up and get ram killed. Even though a US cruiser this high doesn't have torpedoes, he's still a huge threat with just his ship. We don't have the angle to send out torpedoes. We're hoping perhaps maybe he'll change directions, maybe he'll run into these torpedoes. We send them out because they're going to be up by the time we have a chance to use them again. There's just not an ideal scenario. So we're going to continue on. We're not going to fall into his trap. We are way too aware of how you want to play this guy. We had our aircraft overhead, but he's being spotted by a friendly. Looks like he's going to make for the open ocean. Don't know if he knows I have a battleship right next to me, but I really do feel like he's tunneling on me specifically. So we're going to use that to our advantage. We're going to move as fast as we can. We're going to engage the backside of him, and we're going to force him to engage multiple friendlies. Looks like secondaries are going off. We get a good salvo on his back half. We're probably not going to get the kill. He's just avoiding us. At this point, he would prefer that the battleship kill him than me. We try our best. We also have to slow down slightly so we don't run into the friendly torpedoes. Not all friendly torpedoes that make contact are the fault of the torpedoer. You need to be aware and help them out. He was just trying to kill the Pensacola, okay? In that situation, I might have done the same. Some players will just obliviously sail into these torpedoes and expect that everyone stop for them. But you can't say like that, okay? That's obnoxious. We're going to round this island while we capture, and then we're going to engage the turpits. The turpits is alright. The guy has just really cat and mouse kind of thing. You know, they've been trying to catch me. I've been elusive the entire time. And in doing so, they haven't really done anything for their team other than watch their teammates die. So in that regard, we have succeeded more than we could possibly imagine based on the way the players played the game. Now, a player that was less interested in isolating and destroying a target might have had more success. Maybe they've gone up against players that are unable to escape a situation where they're being focused down. But this isn't my first rodeo, okay? We're going to fire on the turpids. Hopefully we can help kill him. We don't lead as well as we should. Friendly sends out his torpedoes, and he's definitely going to kill him. Mutual destruction. That's what I like to see. Just these 2 enemy destroyers. One's trying to get out from behind, and we're going to fire on his position. Hopefully he's not going to back up too fast, but I think he is. I should have let him a little bit more. You know, whenever you're trying to predict the backing up speed of ships, I don't really get to see every single one backing up. Battleships, cruisers, and destroyers all back up at really different speeds, and I just didn't lead him as well. I tried to predict when he was going to adjust his heading straight, and we barely miss him. He's barely alive. Come on, friendly, finish him off. They fire a salvo. I think he hit him. I didn't see him explode, but the game ended abruptly, so he must have died. That was a pretty interesting game from the avoidance standpoint, not a lot of my games I can showcase just how elusive I can be. 1900 base XP, 3 kills, around 60,000 points of damage. It was just an interesting game. I hope these examples of map awareness and elusiveness help you in the future. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.